Where in the world are you watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Before we dive into this heartwarming story, hit subscribe so you'll never miss the most courageous dog tales we share every day. What if the most loyal friend you ever had, the one who saved your life without a second thought, was betrayed by the very person they trusted most, only to come roaring back in a twist of fate that exposes a web of hidden secrets and forces a soul-shattering reckoning? That's the jaw-dropping reality we're unpacking today in the sun-soaked streets of Beverly Hills, where a golden Labrador named Scout becomes the unlikely hero in a battle against blind privilege. Buckle up, animal lovers, because this isn't just a dog story. It's a thriller packed with betrayal, redemption, and the kind of unbreakable bond that will have you hugging your furry friend tighter than ever. Let's rewind to Scout's origins, born into an elite breeding program nestled in California's lush wine country. He ends up in the opulent mansion of Sophia Langford, the 28-year-old heiress to a Silicon Valley tech fortune that could buy entire islands. Imagine the scene, echoing marble halls, sparkling infinity pools, gazing out at the ocean, and Scout, with his fluffy golden coat and endless energy, right at the heart of it. At first, it's a dream. Sophia treats him like royalty, snapping selfies that go viral, jetting him off to snowy retreats. Scout repays her with that classic lab devotion, fetching her things, snuggling during stressful calls, his tail thumping like a heartbeat of pure joy. But oh, how quickly the shine fades as Sophia's world spirals into non-stop glamour and deals. Scout becomes an afterthought, a pretty prop gathering dust. This setup isn't unique. It's a cautionary tale, mirroring real-world pitfalls of privilege. Remember the frenzy around celebrity pets like Paris Hilton's Tinkerbell that sparked a breeding boom but left shelters overflowing? ASPCA reports 3 million animals entering yearly labs often surrendered for being too much. Why entitlement blinds owners to needs like exercise, leading to anxiety in these loving breeds. Contrast that with humble homes where bonds thrive on time, not toys. Lessen companionship demands effort, or the consequences broken trust. Health woes hit hard. But plot twist, Sophia's neglect builds to an explosive abandonment, setting off a chain that crashes back into her life like a freight train. Stay tuned, the collision is next, and it's wild. Imagine this. You're cruising down the sun-drenched streets of Beverly Hills, palm trees swaying like they're whispering secrets to the wind. And in the back seat of a gleaming luxury SUV sits a golden Labrador retriever named Scouttail, wagging furiously, eyes sparkling with that unbreakable loyalty labs are famous for. He's the picture of perfection, right? Fluffy coat, boundless energy, the kind of dog that could melt even the iciest heart. But here's the hook that pulls you in deep. What if I told you that behind those adoring puppy eyes lies a story of betrayal? So shocking, it shatters the illusion of privilege and forces a reckoning that changes everything. Buckle up, friends, because today we're diving into a tale that's equal parts heart-wrenching and uplifting, a story about how unchecked entitlement can blind us to the silent heroes in our lives, those four-legged companions who give us everything and ask for so little in return. Let's start with Scout, our unsung hero. Born into one of those elite breeding programs in the rolling hills of California, wine country, Scout was destined for the lap of luxury from day one. He landed in the sprawling mansion of Sophia Langford, the 28-year-old heiress to a Silicon Valley tech empire worth billions. Picture it, marble floors echoing with the click of Sophia's designer heels, infinity pools overlooking the Pacific, and Scout right there in the middle of it all. At first, it was pure bliss. Sophia doted on him like a living accessory, matching collars with her outfits. Instagram posts racking up likes by the thousands, even private jet rides to weekend getaways in Aspen. Scout, with his classic lab enthusiasm, soaked it all up. He'd fetch her slippers, curl up at her feet during late-night board meetings, and offer that goofy grin that said, "I'm here for you no matter what." But as the months ticked by, something insidious crept in. Sophia's world of endless parties, high-stakes deals, and fleeting relationships started treating Scout like just another luxury item, beautiful on the surface, but easily sidelined when inconvenient. Now here's where we peel back the layers and get real about privilege, Because this isn't just Scout's story. It's a mirror for so many of us who love animals but might unknowingly fall into the same traps. Think about it. In a world where wealth acts like an invisible shield, people like Sophia grow up believing rules bend to their whims. They don't see the quiet suffering because it's never touched them. Take a real-life parallel that hits close to home. Remember Paris Hilton's famous Chihuahua Tinkerbell back in the early 2000s? That tiny pup became a global icon, paraded around like a fashion statement. But it sparked a wave of overbreeding and impulse buys. Suddenly, shelters were flooded with designer dogs, abandoned when the novelty wore off. According to the ASPCA, a staggering 6.3 million animals enter U.S. shelters every year, many because owners' lifestyles shift, moves new jobs, or simply realizing that a high-energy breed like a Labrador needs more than occasional walks. Labs in particular top the surrender lists. Their loving, active nature clashes with sedentary, privileged lives, leading to behavioral issues like chewing or barking that owners blame on the dog, not their own neglect. Why does this happen? Let's break it down. The root cause is that bubble of entitlement. When money solves every problem, hiring trainers instead of bonding or shipping the dog off to a spa when you're too busy, it erodes empathy. Sophia, raised in echo chambers of yes men and private tutors, never learned that true companionship demands effort. Contrast that with working-class families I've heard stories about, like a single dad in rural Ohio who walks his lab rescue miles every day despite 2 jobs. Their bond, unbreakable, forged in shared struggles. No fancy toys, just time and love. The consequence of ignoring this heartbreak on all sides. Neglected labs can develop anxiety, obesity, or even aggression issues that cost owners thousands in vet bills, and worse, shatter the dog's trust. Common mistakes. Assuming animals are low-maintenance emotional support without reciprocating. Or skipping routine checkups thinking, he's fine, he's just a dog. But here's a quick lesson to chew on. Real companionship isn't about ownership, it's about responsibility. Treat your pet like family, and they'll reward you with loyalty that money can't buy. But wait, plot twist, incoming the kind that flips your stomach and keeps you glued. What Sophia didn't know was that her casual dismissal of Scout wasn't just harmless. It was building toward a catastrophe. One fateful afternoon, overwhelmed by her jet-set schedule, she made a snap decision that would haunt her. She dropped Scout off at a no-kill shelter in nearby Pasadena, claiming he was too much work. Scout, confused and heartbroken, whimpered as she drove away without a backward glance. Little did she know, this act of abandonment would circle back in the most explosive way imaginable, pulling her into a whirlwind of consequences that no amount of wealth could buy her out of. And just when you think Scout's story ends in despair, well, that's where the real collision begins. Stick around, because next up, we're hurtling into the moment entitlement crashes head-on with unforeseen justice, tires screeching, hearts racing, and one loyal lab at the center of it all. You won't believe what happens when Sophia's world comes undone. The sun blazes over a Los Angeles freeway, cars zipping like they're racing for their lives, and in the middle of it all, a sleek black SUV swerves wildly, its driver oblivious to the chaos she's about to unleash. Behind the wheel is Sophia Langford, our tech heiress, scrolling through her phone, her manicured nails tapping out a reply to some influencer's DM. In the back seat, nothing but empty designer bags, because Scout, the golden Labrador who once rode shotgun with his tail thumping, is long gone, discarded like last season's handbag. Oh, Sophia, how could you? This is the moment where her gilded bubble of privilege slams head-on into the raw, unforgiving reality of consequences. And trust me, it's a crash you won't see coming. Let's set the scene. It's a scorching afternoon in Pasadena, just off the 110 freeway, where Mr. Elias Thompson, a retired school teacher with a gentle smile and a limp from an old injury, is walking his newly adopted rescue dog, none other than our hero Scout. This loyal lab, with his soulful brown eyes and a slight limp from lingering anxiety, is finally finding peace with Elias, who adopted him from a no-kill shelter after Sophia dumped him for being too energetic. Elias, a widower scraping by on a pension, pours his heart into Scout, walking him daily despite his own pain. It's the kind of bond animal lovers know well, unconditional, built on quiet moments of trust. But in a heartbeat, that trust is shattered. Sophia's SUV, weaving through traffic as she laughs at a meme, clips a barrier, sending sparks flying. The screech of metal startles Scout, who bolts into the road, his leash slipping from Elias's arthritic hands. "Scout, no!" Elias cries, his voice drowned by honking horns. Can you imagine the terror? This brave dog, already scarred by abandonment, frozen in the path of oncoming traffic. His golden fur trembling as headlights bear down. Here's where the stakes skyrocket. Scout dodges a truck by inches, but the panic sends him crashing into a ditch, scraping his leg raw. Elias, heart-pounding, scrambles to reach him, collapsing in pain as onlookers rush to help. Meanwhile, Sophia, barely glancing up from her phone, speeds off, oblivious to the chaos she's caused. What a gut punch. This isn't just reckless driving. It's a betrayal of the very loyalty Scout once gave her. The ripple effects are brutal. Scout's injury aggravates his separation anxiety, leading to vet bills Elias can't afford, $2,000, and counting, per the American Veterinary Medical Association, which notes pet injuries cost owners $1.5 billion yearly. Elias, already stretched thin, misses work at his part-time tutoring job to care for Scout, risking his own stability. And Scout, his trust in the world, frays further, those big eyes, now wary of every loud noise. How could one careless moment wreak such havoc? Let's dig deeper, because this collision isn't just about a near miss. It's a symptom of a bigger disease. Sophia's entitlement, bred in the echo chambers of wealth, makes her think she's untouchable. It's the same mindset we see in real-world cases like that 2022 New York incident, where a socialite's car struck a service dog, leaving its disabled owner heartbroken and sparking viral outrage. The cause: a culture that prioritizes status over responsibility, where phones trump safety. Compare that to everyday folks like the nurse I read about on X who stopped traffic to save a stray lab on a highway. They get it. Animals aren't accessories. Sophia's mistake is all too common distracted driving, ignoring the fact that pets like labs with their sensitive natures suffer deeply from trauma. The ASPCA estimates 1.2 million dogs are hit by cars annually, many because drivers like Sophia don't look up. Lesson 1. Swipe on your phone can steal a life, human or animal. Put it down and drive. But here's the twist that'll make your jaw drop. As Elias cradles a whimpering Scout, a bystander snaps a photo of Sophia's license plate. That's not all. Scout's microchip, scanned at the vet, traces back to Sophia's name, linking her to the dog she abandoned. Oh, the irony. The very pup she cast aside is about to drag her into a courtroom showdown she can't buy her way out of. This isn't just about vet bills. It's about justice for a dog whose loyalty was repaid with betrayal. The stage is set for a reckoning, and Sophia's about to learn that privilege can't shield her from the truth. Hang tight, because next, we're stepping into a Pasadena courtroom where Judge Miriam Hayes, an animal advocate with zero patience for nonsense, is about to turn Sophia's world upside down. Will Scout's quiet courage finally get the justice it deserves? You won't believe what happens next. The air in the Pasadena Municipal Courtroom is thick with tension. Like the calm before a storm, you can feel in your bones. Rows of wooden benches creak under the weight of onlookers, local animal advocates, curious reporters, and a few shelter volunteers clutching tissues, all waiting for the showdown of the year. At the center of it all stands Sophia Langford, our tech heiress, strutting in like she's walking a red carpet, her designer heels clicking with defiance, her face a mask of bored disdain. She's here for a trivial small claims case she thinks some vet bills for a dog she barely remembers. Oh, Sophia, you're in for a wake-up call. Presiding over this drama is Judge Miriam Hayes, a no-nonsense animal advocate whose sharp eyes and steely resolve have made her a legend in pet rights law. And there in the gallery sits Mr. Elias Thompson, cradling a bandaged Scout, the golden Labrador, whose quiet courage is about to turn this courtroom upside down. Buckle up, animal lovers, this is where entitlement meets justice, and the truth about Scout's past will hit like a thunderbolt. The hearing begins, and Sophia's arrogance is on full display. As Elias recounts the freeway incident, Scout's terrified bolt, the scrape on his leg, the $2,000 vet bill that's drained his savings. Sophia rolls her eyes, muttering, "It's just a dog, for God's sake!" Gasps ripple through the room. Just a dog. How dare she? Scout, curled up beside Elias, lifts his head, those soulful brown eyes locking onto Sophia with a flicker of recognition that cuts deeper than any words. Judge Hayes, her face unreadable, leans forward. "Miss Langford," she says, her voice calm but sharp as a blade, "you seem to misunderstand the gravity of this situation. This isn't about a dog. This is about accountability for endangering a life." Sophia scoffs, tossing her hair. "I didn't hit him. He's fine, isn't he?" The room holds its breath. Oh, the audacity. She's digging her own grave, and she doesn't even see it. Let's break this down, because this moment is bigger than Sophia's ego. Her dismissal mirrors a societal blind spot, treating animals as property, not sentient beings. It's a mindset rooted in privilege, where wealth insulates you from consequences. Think of real-world parallels. In 2019, California passed pet custody laws recognizing animals' emotional needs in divorces. Yet people like Sophia still see pets as accessories. The cause: a culture that glorifies status over empathy, like influencers abandoning Insta-famous labs when likes fade. The consequence: heartbreak for animals and owners alike. Humane Society data shows labs are the most surrendered breed, often because owners like Sophia underestimate their need for exercise and love. Elias, by contrast, is a hero of the everyday prioritizing Scout, despite his own struggles, like the countless adopters who choose rescue over pedigree. Common mistake: thinking pets don't matter in legal terms. Lesson: every life, furry or not, deserves respect under the law. But here comes the twist that flips the script entirely. Judge Hayes, flipping through Scout's shelter records, pauses, her eyes narrowing. "Miss Langford," she says, her voice now icy, "are you aware that Scout's microchip traces back to a breeding operation funded by your family's company, Langford Enterprises?" The courtroom erupts in murmurs. What Sophia freezes, her smug facade cracking. Turns out her tech empire's early investments bankrolled unethical puppy mills, churning out labs like Scout for profit, with no regard for their welfare. Your family's greed. Judge Hayes continues, "Put this dog in a cycle of exploitation sold to you as a status symbol, then abandoned when he became inconvenient. And now your recklessness has endangered him again. The irony is staggering. Sophia, the heiress who mocked Scout's worth, is tied to the very system that commodified him. The gallery buzzes, reporters scribble furiously, volunteers whisper in shock. Scout, as if sensing the moment, lets out a soft whimper, his gaze fixed on Sophia, not with anger, but with a heart-wrenching forgiveness that silences the room. Judge Hayes isn't done. "Miss Langford," she declares, "this court sees a pattern of disregard not just for Scout, but for the principles of care and responsibility." Sophia's lawyer, sweating, tries to interject, but she waves him off, her bravado crumbling. The judge's verdict lands like a gavel on glass. In addition to $3,000 in restitution for Mr. Thompson's losses, you will complete 120 hours of mandatory service at the Pasadena Animal Rescue Center, where Scout is recovering. You'll work hands-on cleaning kennels, training dogs, and learning what it means to care for those you've wronged. Sophia's jaw drops. "Work? At a shelter?" she sputters. "This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, honey, you haven't seen anything yet." Judge Hayes's eyes glint with purpose. "Miss Langford, failure to comply will result in jail time. This is your chance to learn what Scout's loyalty means." The crowd nods in approval, some wiping tears. Elias strokes Scout's head, whispering, "Good boy." It's not just justice. It's a lifeline for Sophia to rediscover her humanity. This reckoning isn't just legal. It's moral. Sophia's privilege blinded her to Scout's worth. But the courtroom's truth, amplified by that bombshell about her family's mills, forces her to face the pain she's caused. It's a wake-up call we all need. How often do we overlook the loyalty of our pets, assuming they'll always be there? The lesson here, justice for animals, isn't just about fines, it's about rewriting the stories we tell ourselves about who matters. And for Sophia, this is only the beginning. Get ready, because next, we're diving into the gritty emotional world of the rescue center, where Sophia's forced to face Scout and a pack of abandoned labs. Will she rise to the challenge, or will a shocking temptation pull her back into her old ways? The twists keep coming, and you won't want to miss what's next. The doors of the Pasadena Animal Rescue Center swing open, and Sophia Langford steps into a world that smells of wet fur, disinfectant, and raw hope. It's a far cry from her Beverly Hills penthouse. No marble floors, no chandeliers, just the gritty hum of a shelter fighting to save lives on a shoestring budget. Her designer sneakers squeak on the concrete, her face twisted in disgust as she clutches a clipboard with her court-mandated tasks: clean kennels, feed dogs, walk the high-energy ones, like Scout, the golden Labrador she abandoned and nearly ran over. Oh, Sophia, you thought the courtroom was humbling. Welcome to the real test. Here in this East LA haven for the forgotten Scout's soulful eyes and the chaos of barking, labs are about to crack open her privileged heart. Buckle up, animal lovers. This is where redemption gets messy, raw and downright life-changing, with a twist that'll leave you gasping. Sophia's first day is a disaster. She gags at the smell of soiled bedding, fumbles with a leash as a hyper lab pup drags her across the yard and snaps at a volunteer. This is degrading. Degrading try. Telling that to Scout, who watches her from his kennel tail, wagging despite everything. That unwavering loyalty after all she's done hits like a punch to the gut. How could a dog forgive so easily? But Sophia's not there yet. She's still the heiress, rolling her eyes at the idea of scooping kibble or scrubbing floors. The shelter's lead volunteer, Maria, a tough-as-nails single mom who's seen her share of hard knocks, isn't fazed. "You'll learn, princess," she says, tossing Sophia a mop. "These dogs don't care about your bank account. They need you to show up." It's a wake-up call, but Sophia's stubbornness clings like a second skin. She's here because she has to be, not because she wants to. Let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about Sophia's discomfort. It's a mirror for all of us. How often do we shy away from hard work when it comes to our pets? Labs, with their boundless energy, need hours of exercise and mental stimulation. Yet the Humane Society reports they're surrendered at staggering rates, over 100,000 annually, because owners misjudge the commitment. Sophia's entitlement, rooted in a life where problems are outsourced, mirrors real-world cases like influencers who adopt trendy pets only to ditch them when the novelty fades. Think of that viral 2023 story from Texas. A rescued lab named Max saved his owner from a house fire. Yet thousands like him languish in shelters because people like Sophia see care as beneath them. The cause: a culture that prioritizes convenience over connection. The consequence: dogs like Scout suffer separation. Anxiety-chewed furniture. Broken spirits because their humans don't show up. Common mistake. Assuming love is enough without effort. Lesson true bonds are built through sweat time and showing up even when it's hard. But here's where things get juicy. Week 1 at the shelter, Sophia's barely scraping by, muttering complaints as she shovels food for a pack of rowdy labs. Then, a heart-stopping twist. A late-night break-in shakes the shelter. 2 shady figures, part of an underground dog-flipping ring, sneak in to steal valuable purebreds, including Scout, whose pedigree makes him a target. Sophia, on cleaning duty, freezes as the intruders corner her. "Stay back," she squeaks, her voice trembling. But Scout, sensing danger, leaps from his kennel left ajar by a rushed volunteer and lets out a fierce growl that echoes through the night. Oh my God, the bravery! This dog, betrayed by Sophia, now stands between her and harm his golden fur, bristling as he barks the intruders into retreat. The shelter staff rush in, the police are called, and Sophia collapses, clutching Scout's fur. tears streaming. "You saved me," she whispers, her voice breaking. Saved her. After she threw him away, that's the kind of loyalty that shatters hearts and rebuilds them stronger. This moment flips everything. Sophia starts showing up not just physically, but emotionally. She begins walking Scout daily, learning his quirks, how he chases tennis balls with a goofy grin, how he flinches at loud noises since the freeway scare. She overhears Maria's story, a single mom who lost her home, but never gave up her rescue lab teaching Sophia about resilience. Another day, she meets Jake, a grizzled veteran volunteering at the shelter, who shares how his lab helped him through PTSD. These stories, raw and real, chip away at her defenses. Psychological studies from the APA back this up. Human-animal bonds reduce stress by 20%, rewiring even the most hardened hearts. Sophia's hands, once soft from luxury, grow calloused. Her designer clothes give way to practical jeans. And Scout. He starts trusting her again, his tail wagging a little harder each day. It's not just redemption, it's a rebirth. But wait, here's the gut-wrenching twist that'll keep you glued. One afternoon, a slick breeder in a tailored suit corners Sophia at the shelter, offering $10,000 to buy Scout back for his elite breeding line. He's a champion son, the man purrs worth a fortune. Sophia hesitates, her old instincts flaring money status the easy way out. Could she really slip back? The shelter staff watch, holding their breath as Scout nuzzles her hand, oblivious to the betrayal on the table. No, Sophia finally says, her voice shaking but firm. He's not for sale. He's family. The room exhales. Family. From the woman who once saw him as a prop. This is the moment Sophia chooses Scout over her past, but it's not easy. It's a war against every instinct she's ever known. Compare this to reformed owners like Miley Cyrus, who turned from pet collector to rescue advocate after personal loss. The lesson: redemption isn't a straight line. It's a fight against yourself, won through small, brave choices. Sophia's transformation isn't complete, but it's real. She's not just serving a sentence, she's building a bond. One walk, one belly rub at a time. The shelter becomes her classroom. Scout, her teacher, and the other labs her mirror, reflecting the life she could still save or lose. This journey is messy, but it's proof that even the most entitled hearts can learn to beat for others. Hold on tight, because next we're heading to the final chapter where Sophia faces the courtroom again, and a shocking discovery about Scout's lineage ties her to a legacy she never expected. Will her change stick, or will one last twist unravel everything? You won't believe how this ends. The Pasadena courtroom hums with a different energy today, no longer a battleground of arrogance versus justice, but a stage for something deeper: transformation. Sophia Langford stands before Judge Miriam Hayes, no longer the defiant heiress draped in silk and disdain. Her jeans are worn, her hands calloused from weeks at the Pasadena Animal Rescue Center, and her eyes, once hidden behind oversized sunglasses, now meet the judge's gaze with quiet resolve. Beside her, Scout, the golden Labrador who sparked this journey, sits proudly, his tail thumping softly against the floor, his golden fur gleaming under the courtroom lights. The gallery is packed: shelter volunteers, animal advocates, even Mr. Elias Thompson, whose gentle smile radiates hope. This is it. Animal lovers, the moment where redemption crystallizes, where one dog's unbreakable loyalty rewrites a legacy. But hold on tight, because a final twist is about to tie Sophia's past to a future she never imagined, and it'll leave you in tears. Judge Hayes adjusts her glasses, her voice steady but warm. Miss Langford, she begins, your 120 hours at the rescue center are complete. Reports from the staff indicate a remarkable shift. She pauses, letting the weight of those words sink in. Sophia takes a deep breath, her voice soft but clear. Your Honor, I was wrong about Scout, about everything. I saw him as a status symbol, not a life. But at the shelter, I learned what loyalty means, what love costs. Scout saved me not just from danger, but from myself. A tear rolls down her cheek, and Scout nuzzles her hand as if to say, I've got you. Oh, my heart. The room is silent. Some wiping tears, others nodding. Elias in the back clutches a photo of Scout, his eyes shining with pride. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Thompson." Sophia continues, turning to him. "I'll spend my life making this right. Can you believe it? The woman who once scoffed at a dumb dog is now bearing her soul, reshaped by a Labrador's forgiveness. But here's the twist that'll hit you like a tidal wave." Judge Hayes holds up a document, her voice taking on a new weight. "Miss Langford, during your service, the shelter uncovered records showing Scout's lineage traces back to a champion lab bred by your family's company, one of many exploited in their puppy mills." Gasps ripple through the crowd. "What?" But the judge continues, "You've taken steps to address this." Sophia nods, her voice steady. "I've launched Scout's Second Chance Foundation with $500,000 to fund lab rescues nationwide, starting with shutting down those mills." The room erupts in murmurs of awe. Shutting down her own family's legacy. That's not just change, that's revolution. But there's more. One of Scout's pups born at the shelter has a genetic heart condition linked to those mills, and Sophia's funding its treatment. "I can't undo the past," she says, "but I can fight for their future." Tears flow freely now, mine included. Scout's legacy, born from pain, is now a beacon of hope. Let's unpack this, because it's bigger than one courtroom. Sophia's transformation mirrors what's possible when we confront our mistakes. The cause of her change. Hands-on time with Scout, proving what the APA found: human-animal bonds reduce stress and build empathy. The consequence. A ripple effect. Her foundation could save thousands, with Humane Society stats showing 500,000 dogs rescued from mills yearly needing homes. Compare her old life, shallow, isolated, to her new one, surrounded by shelter staff and Scout's wagging tail. Contrast this with those who never change, like the influencers who cycle through pets for clout. Common mistake. Thinking money fixes everything. Lessen empathy. Not cash heals wounds, human and canine. And that pup with the heart issue. It's a living reminder that our choices echo across generations. Here's the final heart-melting twist. As Sophia steps out of the courtroom, Elias approaches, holding Scout's leash. "He's yours again," he says softly, "if you'll keep him safe." Sophia freezes, tears spilling. "I don't deserve him," she whispers. But Elias smiles. "You do now." Scout bounds forward, licking her face, and the crowd cheers. Oh, the joy! It's not just a reunion, it's a promise kept. Sophia doesn't stop there. She hosts a benefit gala raising another $200,000, where a surprise awaits. Scout's littermate Thought Lost appears, adopted by a volunteer. The siblings romp together, tails wagging like they're rewriting history. This isn't closure, it's a new beginning. Sophia's story and Scout's is a call to all of us. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up. Every year, 920,000 shelter animals are euthanized per the ASPCA. But we can change that. Adopt, volunteer, advocate, start where you are. Scout's loyalty transformed one heart. Imagine what it can do for the world. What's your next step? Will you open your home to a rescue walk, a shelter dog, or share this story to inspire others? Drop it in the comments. We're reading everyone. And if Scout's courage moved, you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more tales of heroic dogs that remind us what it means to be human. Keep watching, because the next story might just change your life.